Hi, today I have Andy Cotgreave, Technical Evangelist at Tableau, an enterprise analytics platform. So Andy, what are you looking forward to most at Big Data London?
Well, I'm really excited about Big Data London. I think your slogan, knowledge is power, is something that really fits in with Tableau's mission. What I'm seeing of the type of people Big Data London is appealing to is that it's everybody across the organisation. It's not just data scientists, it's analysts, it's business users. Everybody who has questions with data should be able to take that data, turn it into knowledge, then wisdom, and then insights. So essentially, myself and Tableau, we're really excited about meeting people from across the community and enabling them to see their data and understand it and get actionable eureka moments from data that can have a big impact on their businesses.
You've worked a lot with the UK big data community. What's your perception about it?
The UK's got a really thriving big data community. People are delighted to be having access to tools which just open up new insights. They can play with data, they can make new discoveries, and we see that in various community projects. One project I'm running this year is called Makeover Monday, and each week we find a chart on a news organisation and share that to the community and with the data and say, well look, spend an hour on a Monday and remake this chart, retell the story. And what we've discovered over 38 weeks that we've run this project so far is that there's a community of people who are creative and driven to find new stories in data. We've had over 300 people do over 2,000 makeovers. That's like over 53 a week, I think we're up to at our average. A great number of those people are in the UK. You know, and they tell me, people who are involved in this project tell me that it's changing the way they see data. It's changing their jobs. It's changing how they work, how they take fun stuff from the community, creative ideas, and actually apply it to their business. And I think that is what community is about.
So why do you think data visualization is so important in the enterprise?
Data visualization is fundamental in 2016 and beyond. And you know, we want people to be able to see and understand their data. And seeing data reveals new things that if you just stuck to statistical packages or even algorithms, you know, they're going to find out amazing things in your data, but sometimes if you just look at your data, you can see things that are hugely insightful, and you can do that extremely quickly and simply. And so data visualization is a tool that enables anybody in an organization to get insight from their data. They don't need to be trained statisticians or trained in deep machine learning. If they can just explore their data, then they too have access to all that knowledge that is in there, and then they can change their business as a result.
How do you help your customers overcome big data challenges?
Well, at Tableau we see a couple of aspects of big data challenges. The first one is, even with the best will in the world, no organization is going to have a single data warehouse with a single source of the truth. Even the best investments in that kind of technology won't stop people across the organization having ad hoc Excel sheets or needing a bit of data from the cloud, something they download. And so the big data challenge is getting that variety of data and bringing it all together. So what we do at Tableau is enable people to create, mash up, or bring these multiple data sources together in single data sources and then share those across the enterprise, so that people across the enterprise don't need to worry particularly about where the data came from. They can just access it, explore it, and find the data story in that data. The second aspect of big data challenges is a concept called data gravity. And what we find, what that means is getting tools to where the data is. Some companies have their entire organization or data on premises. Some companies, they're completely in the cloud. Some companies are kind of hybrid, and all companies have a fluid, changing architecture. The principle of what we're trying to do with Tableau is to say to any organization, well look, wherever you are in your enterprise in this situation, we can set up a system that is where your data is. So if you want to be completely on premises, that's fine. If you want to be in the cloud, that's fine. If you want hybrid, then that's fine. So I think the big data challenge for organizations is getting tools that are where their data is and not being told, well, you've got data all over the place, but if you want to use our tool, oh, you've got to go cloud, because companies can't make that transition. So we're trying to give access to data to everybody wherever their data is.
You've worked with big data for quite a long time now. So what's your big data moment?
My favourite parts of working with big data are sometimes the small moments where people see things they've never been able to see before. And a quick story that happened like on Monday. My wife was trying to solve the black hole of our family expenses. And finally, we managed to get our bank statements onto a cloud database. And this was great. And then together, in just like 3 minutes, we connected Tableau to this Google Sheet. And we could see exactly where the money was going, right? And my wife, Liz, was like, aha, this is incredible. And it turns out shoes are a considerable family expense for the Cotgreave family. And it was me buying the shoes, not my wife. But we just couldn't see the impact of these little expenditures. And it's that which is hugely important for big data, small data, big data, whatever it is, because that thing that when I saw my wife's eyes light up when she get that aha moment, it's like if everybody in an organization is empowered to see those little insights in data, then that's hugely powerful for an enterprise or a big organization.
So the term big data has been around for quite a long time now. Do you think it's falling out of fashion?
So the term big data, I suspect, might go out of fashion. I've got two little stories about that. The first ever book written about data visualization was written 102 years ago, 1914. And on the first page of that book, the author wrote, millions of dollars are being spent on the collection of data each year in the expectation that the possession of the data will solve the problems being studied. That was 1914. They had too much data and too many questions and not the ability to answer them. 102 years ago. So all that's happened over since then and even before then is we've just been getting more and more data each year, better and better tools, but more and more questions. So I think the very term big data is something we've been in a big data crisis for at least 100 years because the data itself is growing. 2 years ago, Tableau ran an April Fool's campaign along the theme of medium data. So we actually produced this spoof video with really big production values about customers talking about, we're the medium data movement and how you didn't need all your data. You could just do it with small data or medium data. And it was great. It was a really funny campaign. But within a couple of weeks, we actually had people calling our sales organization saying, oh yeah, this is what I need. This is what I need, medium data. And we were like, really? That's kind of not what we intended. But it was a really great insight that people are just seeing data as data, whether it's big, medium or small. And I've even seen the term medium data used in other organizations and in newspaper articles since. So I do think big data, it's a great term. It's appealing and eye-catching, but it's just data.
Tableau talks a lot about data heroes. So who was your inspiration?
Big inspiration for me is a guy called Alberto Cairo. He's, I think, one of the leading authors and thinkers in the world of data visualization and storytelling and analytics. And the reason he, to me, gets it right is the way he talks about the balance between displaying data in a purely functional way, boring bar charts, or displaying data in a really beautiful way, where you do crazy colors and crazy shapes, and it looks beautiful, but there's no actual meaningful insight that can be taken out of that. Whereas Alberto Cairo recognizes that there's a really interesting tension. People want to engage with things that look beautiful, but they have to be functional. And Alberto Cairo's books talk about that all the time, and the importance of being creative when people tell stories with data and share their insights across communities or organizations.
To wrap up, what's the future of data analytics?
Well, I think in the future, this phrase, knowledge is power, is something that enterprises need to really grab hold of. But what they need to do is grab hold of it by spreading knowledge across an organization. They need to do this in a safe way, so they need platforms which are safe, secure, and well-governed. But they need to open up access to data to everybody, because everybody in an organization, that people are smart and creative and craving answers to their questions that are driven by data. I kind of despair that at the moment politics is going in this post-truth direction. Brexit, there was a lot of false claims made. Donald Trump is the king of making stuff up. And what I hope organizations can do is not take that as inspiration, but actually use data to drive correct conversations. What we at Tableau see our customers do very often is they go into meetings and they're talking, but they've got a big screen with their data on the screen, and instead of just using static, dusty dashboards, they're actually driving the data and using the data to steer the conversation. So my hope for the future of analytics is that we can not take our inspiration from the worst aspects of political post-truth, but actually use truth and data to find the truths and then make correct business decisions.
Thank you so much for your time. It's going to be a great event.
Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody at Big Data London. I'll be talking about the beautiful science of data visualization, and I'm really excited about sharing some of that with everybody that attends. We've also got the stand, the Tableau Stand, where there'll be people on hand to show you how Tableau works, how we help people see and understand their data. It's going to be a really good event, and we're excited to see you there.